Hello, and welcome to the Modern Persian Food podcast. I'm Bita.
And I'm Bita. We're joining you today as we approach Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Usually this is a time of pure celebration, but this year our hearts are heavy and our minds are on the innocent people of Iran, including the thousands of lives lost.
We want to take a moment to pay our deepest respects to the people of Iran and their ongoing struggle for total freedom.
Because of this immense sacrifice and the state of mourning throughout our community, Nowruz looks very different this year. From Iran to San Francisco and Los Angeles and all across the world, many major public events have been canceled out of respect for those who have been lost and those still fighting for their basic human rights.
Beata and I have sat with the question of how to observe Nowruz in our own homes and lives during a significant turning point in our Persian homeland and in our history. We've decided that while our hearts are in mourning, we will still hold space for our culture and remain hopeful. I'll be setting a small half scene, but it will serve more as a place of reflection. I'll be lighting an extra candle this year for the freedom of the people in Iran and for the thousands who are no longer with us. Our extended family will gather as usual, assuming the mood and tone will be different. We'll have the photos of our ancestors and family members who are no longer with us on the table, as we always do, to remind us of the strength of the roots we come from. We're gathering as a family, not for a party, but to send collective hope and energy toward a future of true freedom for Iran.
We've decided to rebroadcast our previous episode 126 today. It is a thorough look at all the symbols of Nowruz, symbols that represent life, rebirth, and endurance, and one of my favorite episodes. We hope it provides a connection to the heritage that this uprising is fighting so bravely to protect.
We send our love and our solidarity to you all. Hi, friends. Today we have a really fun episode planned for you. Episode 126, Nowruz, New Day. The biggest, most important holiday in the Persian culture. This is a cultural spotlight episode. We're giving an overview of the entire 2-week-long celebration. This is a non-secular Persian tradition that goes back thousands and thousands of years. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Bita June. Hey, Bita.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk about Nowruz and Persian New Year. What I love most about it is that it's not just one day. It's like a season, really. You know, it starts well before the actual New Year, which falls on the spring equinox. So depending on where you are in the world, the time may be a little bit different, but we'll all be celebrating at the same moment. And so it starts before that and it extends for a few weeks, as you were saying.
Yeah, and it's such a hopeful time. Spring is such a wonderful time to have a new year with the budding flowers and the birds chirping. So we hope that this really gets you in the mood to incorporate Nowruz in whatever way, shape, and form it makes sense to you. Okay, so we kick off with a little preamble with spring cleaning, getting new clothes. What are some of your favorite parts of the sort of pre-Nowruz season, Bita June?
Yeah, I think like one of the key parts is the khune tekuni, which means basically literally translated to shaking of the house. So this is an opportunity to clean up, to get your house and your home and really your mind cleared out. Let's get rid of all the extra baggage. Let's dust, let's clean, let's have a really great fresh start to the year. So one of those is called khune tekuni. So spring cleaning, essentially, and getting everything ready for the new year.
Yeah, and the whole family participates. Technically, in the olden days, I think that families would take out their rugs and their Persian carpets and kind of beat out the dust from them.
Yep, shake them all out.
Shake them all out. And then I hear stories from my folks and the extended family and my mom of it being so much fun to get your new outfit head to toe. And a lot of times in old tradition and culture, it was kind of the one big time that kids would get their new outfits. It's sort of like in our Western culture, the back to school shopping time. Well, in the Persian culture, it was for Nowruz. So you'd get the outfit and the new shoes, and that was really exciting to kind of be thinking ahead to the actual turning of the year.
Yeah, start off the year with like fresh clothes, new things, and a great way to kind of embrace the year to come. Just kind of touching on that a little bit. Like I've celebrated Nowruz in Iran a few times. It's really like everyone is working towards Norooz till Sal Tavil, till basically the ball dropping, the moment of the equinox. And it's really like everyone is in the spirit of it. Like, so if you want to kind of something to compare it to, like when we think about kind of like Christmas, sometimes you see that like everyone is kind of rushing to get their gifts, to get everything that they want, their decorations, everything all set up. And I really feel like that in Iran too, is like everyone is just working towards getting their hafseen set up and getting everything ready, and the foods and the cookies and everything and all set up. So it's definitely like a great mindset to get ready to like start the new year off, especially with some new clothes. That's a fun way to do it. But I think the biggest and most interactive part of the pre-New Year's celebrations and getting ready for it is the Charshanbe Suri night. And Charshanbe Suri is on the eve of the last Wednesday of the year. So Tuesday night. And what you do is you do fire jumping. You build these little bonfires essentially, or, in our more urban settings, we put like a tray full of candles together, or, there's different places here in the Bay Area that we can go to that actually like along like beachside or different parks that they kind of have reserved the area. And then you could build these 3 little bonfires and you jump over them and you do a little chant to the fire. Zardi man az to, sorkhi to az man. Sorkhi to az man, zardi man az to.
از آتیش میگیره زردیمونو میده سرخیشو داغشه تنور عشقمونو امشب به یاده همگیمون میمونه با آتیش تو زمه.
What's that mean, Bita June?
It means that you're kind of like negotiating with the fire. Take my sickly parlor, take my sickness and give me your fire and energy. So you're basically chanting this as you're jumping over these little fires. And it's a really special night. If you've never seen anything like this, it's a very memorable event. Some people will even have kind of like fireworks or have like fun little like, sparklers and things like that. And just really getting the energy and the heat from the fire is kind of like the key point here, is like bringing that energy, bringing it into your life as you embrace on the new year to come. So I think it's just like a kind of like cleansing and also like the hopefulness of the new year to come.
I love that tradition. And even just visualizing, okay, let's get rid of the winter flus, my pale ass skin right now. Let's get ready for some spring and spring breaking and vitamin D therapy, and bring the warmth and the color into our cheeks and the hope for the future. And I love that a few years ago when we first started on this venture together, that you shared, Bita June, hey, if you don't have the opportunity to jump over a bonfire, set up some kind of safe candle. And my husband and I, empty nesters that we are, we did that a few years ago. We started to jump over candles or just little battery operated symbols of light and fire, and just jump over it. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's a great way to kind of bring the tradition and get ready for, the new season to come. So we definitely encourage everyone to do that. Send us your pictures. We love kind of seeing everyone participate in some of these cultural events. So definitely participate in Charshanbe Suri. That's pretty much your big way to end the year.
Yeah, and don't forget, this is the time to start thinking about growing your wheatgrass. We want to encourage and inspire you to try your hand at it. Last year, we had a very special guest who helped us to grow the sabzeh. Do you remember that, Bita, the author of Bottom of the Pot?
Naz Davarian from Bottom of the Pot. She gave us step-by-step instructions. That's a great episode if you're looking to try to grow your own sabzeh. Give a listen to that. She grows it with lentils in that episode. But you have a really great shortcut. I'm going to do what you do this year, I think.
You should. The last couple of years, I've been growing chia seeds, and I learned how to do it from my mother-in-law. It's so forgiving and easy, and you can grow chia. It's almost like fail-proof. So just give yourself a couple of weeks and give it a go. And maybe I'll try to make a little video to walk through the steps and help you all out in the meantime. But if you can't get a hold of anything to grow or you don't have the time, we have some cheats as well. You can try to pick up some wheatgrass from your health food store, or even some catnip, just to represent the spring grass.
The little kitty grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's to live on the sofre half scene, which we'll get into in just a second. We're actually going to have a whole episode dedicated to sofre, setting out your sofre half scene, and also sofre in general in Persian culture. We've talked about sofre a bunch of times, so we're coming up with an episode that's really going to showcase all the different types of sofre, and that'll be in a few weeks, just in time for Nowruz.
And then we're approaching the actual New Year turning of the season. It is the turning of winter to spring, and it happens to be our California time zone happening on the afternoon of the 20th.
So we're all getting ready. We're all gathering. We're all going to get ready for the actual moment. And this is when all the horns start playing. And this horn represents that New Year has come. The quintessential and traditional horn of the New Year that announces spring is here. Renewal, rebirth is here.
That horn music reminds me like of some kind of procession, like a parade of joyful people welcoming the new year. Maybe in the olden days in the villages, that's how I picture it in my mind.
Yeah. Hi friends, pardon the interruption, but we just wanted to let you know that we've accepted our first sponsor for the podcast. We're super excited about that. And they are Zafra Saffron. They are the true taste of saffron. I love their convenient little pods of ground saffron in it. It's ready to go. You can easily just add it to any recipe when you're cooking. But if you're looking for something a little bit more special, they have the saffron threads in a really beautiful glass jar with a cork lid that's perfect for Norooz gift giving. You can find them at zaffrus.com. That's ZAFFRUS, or at Amazon to get yours. Thanks.
So here we are. What does New Year look like? Basically, we'll get into the details of the half scene, but gathering around the table, the candles are lit, the mirror is there. You have your 7 symbolic items on the sofre. And if you're fortunate to be a child or a recipient of AD, there might be a little red envelope or a little clean bill as a gift given. You want to elaborate on that, AD?
Yeah, absolutely. So the half scene actually means 7 S's. And so the table that Bita is referring to is a place setting that has these 7 different elements on it. Again, we'll go into more detail about that in a few weeks, but it's a beautiful display that, and each item represents health and beauty and renewal. And there's always candles lit, and there is a beautiful mirror there that anchors the table. You gather at the table at the moment of the equinox. And so basically the whole season is really kind of like paying respects to the elders, and in return, they give you AD. So AD is basically money usually. As Bita said, nice crisp bills. Usually, typically, there's some sort of like holy book or special book that's on the sofre, and the money actually lives inside of the book. So when you, right after the new year, the elders will offer the AD money to the younger generations, and you take one, and it's kind of like a really fun tradition. And so if you're not with your elders there at the moment, you go pay respects to them. So that kind of starts the next few weeks of the celebration of Nowruz. And when you go and visit them and pay your respects to them, they will also give you AD in return. So it doesn't have to be just that exact moment if you're not with them. When you go see them and say Happy New Year, then they will traditionally offer you an AD. And I have really fond memories of when we were little. So when we were growing up, we would go to all the different family members. It's like a full day that you go to all the elders' homes. And then we would just collect all this AD, and we'd have little envelopes, and we were like counting how much money we've gotten People will sign their name on it or put like a little stamp on it. And you're supposed to kind of actually hold on to that money as kind of like good luck. Or I would think that if you like put that money with like the rest of your money, it kind of like blesses the other money or gives it like good luck to all your money. So I would like to like deposit it in my bank and have like all my money in the bank be all special money.
Yeah, good point. It's special.
Mm-hmm.
My father-in-law got into a tradition of getting the $2 bills, and he liked to pass out the $2 bills, which are, a special denomination of money. And that kind of made it where, yeah, it was special. You didn't really want to spend it. You kind of kept it as good luck. But hey, we're Modern Persian Food, and we want to just encourage you to do this in any way, shape, or form. If you can't gather around and do this on Monday afternoon, you do it when you can. I think our family puts it to the closest weekend day that we can. And so in this year, we'll probably gather on Sunday. My mom is traveling this year, so we'll miss her, but she'll be with her extended family. And so I'm happy for her that she'll be doing that. She'll be on the other side of the world in Australia. I think your mom's traveling as well, huh?
Yeah, my mom looks to be traveling during that time there. But I think that let's talk about food. What are we going to be eating and what do people eat for Norooz? So what are the kind of quintessential dishes, Bita, that are served for Norooz? Let's talk about that.
Let's do it. I think we're going to have to be stepping up the plate and cooking ourselves without our moms this year. But some of the traditional things that you'll see include sabzi polo ba mahi. So this is a healthy, green, perfect dish for spring. It's loaded with herbs and dill, fish in many forms. I like to make just a simple salmon, but smoked fish is often served, white fish.
So the theme when it comes to food for Norooz, if you wanted to associate a color to Norooz, is green, bright green.
Yeah.
So the sabzi puro that you're talking about, sabzi means greens. It's a rice dish like overflowing with fresh herbs. It's bright green. And then, yes, you serve it with, you can have a smoked fish, depending on what region you are from. Sometimes traditionally it's like a stuffed fish. So a lot of different versions. If you can't get a specialty type of fish, you can definitely use salmon or whatever fish that you can get your hands on. A couple other foods that are bright green that we have during the season is kuku sabzi, which is kind of like a frittata / souffle, or in other words, herb omelet, really, that you fry, that typically can be pan fried. You can cook it in the oven too. And it's vibrant and it's made with some eggs, a little bit of flour, some turmeric. Some people put barberries in it. Some people put walnuts in it. Some people just go pretty basic. So it's chopped full of a bunch of herbs. I like to put spinach in mine. That's a great New Year dish. And also my favorite, you guys have heard me talk about, and I love doing this for Persian New Year, for American New Year, for any occasion, is the ash rishte, is the noodle and herb and bean hearty soup garnished with a little bit of yogurt or kashk, which is kind of like a product made from yogurt, and caramelized onions and fried mint. And it's like a delicious, hearty dish that has the long noodles. So that kind of represents also rishte, the core of the new year, in the bright, vibrant green color.
And so nutritious. Ashereshta is so nutritious. Make a big batch, share it with others. I love that you brought up green and that green as the thematic color. I've never really thought of it that way, but so many elements of Norooz have green. From the grass that we grow to every dish, the ash itself is loaded with greens and fresh herbs. Kuku sabzi makes me think of the recipe I still want to try from Andy Baragani's cookbook, The Cook You Want to Be, where he keeps his kuku sabzi so vibrant and green. So I love that. And also just the tie-in with the Western holidays. Maybe you're doing St. Patrick's Day coming up. Maybe you actually decorate with the green and tie in with Easter, the Easter grass. And one of the things on our sofre, our 7S half-seen table that is often present, is painted eggs. And that kind of goes with Easter. So I love seeing kind of all the tie-ins with other holidays as well. Well, that kind of brings us to, there's a wrap up of the Persian Nowruz season, which is typically a day to get out of the house, go on a picnic if you can. And it falls on the 13th day. So you're kind of trying to escape from any evil spirits, be out of the house.
So the birds chirping, the fresh air. So 13 bedar, 13 out the door. Just celebrate outside, have a picnic, enjoy being outside. In some communities, there'll be parks reserved and hundreds and thousands of people will get together and celebrate and play music and eat and picnic together. But really, it's just try to be outside a little bit and try to just wrap up the New Year season. You've had 13 days, and in that time, you've hopefully gone and seen your family and friends and maybe made some intentions for the new year that is coming and is here. I love looking forward to Norooz and really feeling that like there's a time to really like kind of renew and refresh. So hopefully you've been able to kind of do that during this time period.
On the 13th day, it's also the day that traditionally you can throw your sabze, your spring grass, into a running stream of water. If we don't want to do that environmentally, you can throw it into your compost bin. But there's also a little tradition with tying a blade of grass and making a wish for the new year ahead.
I love that. I love that. So I love New Year's. I love Nowruz. Thank you everyone for listening. We thought that this would be a great way for you guys all to learn, or a refresher for those of you who know, about what we do for Nowruz and the symbolism and good intentions that we have that come with the new season.
Eid Shema Mubarak.
Eid Shema Mubarak, Bita June. You've been listening to the Modern Persian Food podcast with Beata and Bita. Thanks for spending time with us. If you've enjoyed what you heard today, consider telling a friend or giving us a good rating. You can subscribe to our show for free on your favorite podcasting app, or find us online at modernpersianfood.com or on Instagram for the recipes and information we talked about today. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and see you next time.